Spiritual development – challenge of modern times to grow spiritually in a world specified by power, cash, and impact is a Herculean task. Modern benefits such as digital tools, gizmos, and tools along with enjoyment with television, magazines, as well as the Internet have inclined us to constrain our attention primarily to physical wants and needs. As a result, our ideas of self-worth and also self-meaning are jumbled. How can we strike a balance between the product and the spiritual facets of our lives? To grow spiritually is to look internal. Self-contemplation exceeds recalling things that took place in a day, week, or month. You need to look carefully as well as reflect on your ideas, sensations, beliefs, and motivations. Occasionally examining your experiences, the choices you make, the connections you have, as well as things you engage in provide helpful insights and your life objectives, on the excellent characteristics you need to sustain as well as the bad characteristics you need to discard. Furthermore, it provides you hints on just how to act, react, and also conduct on your own in the midst of any kind of scenario. Like any ability, self-questioning can be discovered, all it takes is the guts as well as desire to look for the realities that lie within you. Here are some pointers when you introspect: be unbiased, be forgiving of yourself, and also concentrate on your areas for enhancement. To expand spiritually is to create your potentials. Spiritual beliefs as well as scientific research have varying sights and matters of the human spirit. Religion checks out people as spiritual beings, briefly residing on earth, while science watches the spirit as simply one measurement of an individual. Mastery of the self is a reoccurring theme in both Christian Western and also Islamic Eastern pieces of training. The demands of the body are recognized yet put under the requirements of the spirit. Beliefs, worths, morality, guidelines, experiences, and also greats provide the plan to make sure the growth of the soul. In psychology, recognizing one's complete potential is to self-actualize. Maslow identified several human demands: physiological, safety and security, belongingness, esteem, cognitive, visual, self-actualization, and also self-transcendence. James previously classified these requirements into three: material, psychological, as well as spiritual. When you have actually pleased the standard physical and emotional needs, spiritual or existential requirements follow. Accomplishing each need results in the complete advancement of the individual. Perhaps the difference between these two religions and also psychology is the end of self-development. Christianity and also Islam see that self-development is a method towards serving God, while psychology cite that self-development is an end on its own. To grow spiritually is to look for significance. Religions that believe in the presence of God such as Christianism, Judaism, as well as Islam, have as a core belief that the objective of human life is to serve the Maker of all things. Several concepts in psychology suggest that we inevitably give implying to our lives. Whether we believe that life's meaning is predetermined or self-directed, to grow in spirit is to recognize that we do not simply exist. We do not know the significance of our lives at birth, but we obtain knowledge and knowledge from our interactions with individuals and from our actions and also responses to the situations we remain in. As we uncover this definition, there are certain ideas as well as values that we deny and also verify. Our lives have an objective. This purpose puts all our physical, psychological, and intellectual potentials into use, sustains us during attempting times, and also gives us something to anticipate, a goal to attain, a location to get to. A person without purpose or meaning is like a wandering ship mixed up. Advancing in spiritual development is to acknowledge affiliations. Many spiritual beliefs stress the idea of our relatedness to all creation, life, and also inanimate. Therefore we call other people brothers as well as siblings, even if there are no straight blood relations. Additionally, deity-centered faiths such as Christianity and Islam mention the partnership between human beings as well as a higher being. On the other hand, science states on our web link to various other living things through different theories like evolution theory, morphogenic fields, etc. This relatedness is plainly seen in the idea of ecology, the communication between living as well as non-living entities. In psychology, connectedness is a characteristic of self-transcendence, the highest human requirement according to Maslow. Identifying your link to all things makes you a lot more modest and also considerate of individuals, animals, plants, and also things in nature. It makes you appreciate whatever around you. It relocates you to go beyond your convenience zone and also reach out to other individuals, and come to be guardians of all other things around you. Development is a procedure thus to grow in spirit as a day-to-day encounter. We win some, we shed some, but the vital point is that we discover, and from this knowledge, further spiritual development is enabled. Stages of spiritual development based on the book Further Along the Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. Human beings are complicated beings as well as spiritual matters even more so. Therefore what adheres to needs to be a total simplification. Once again, a stage in life, even as recorded here, cannot entirely describe somebody's life at any type of point in time. People progress in and out of phases, according to their behavior, what they have actually learned, their gathered experience at that point in time as well as their capability to observe themselves. The stages of improvement, and hence can apply to spiritual development or growth, can be approximately divided into 4 components. A. The chaotic antisocial stage. During this stage, life is especially tough. It is basically a stage of undeveloped spirituality. People in it generally behave in antisocial means. They reveal neither reluctance nor any type of spirituality. They purport to be loving but actually, control of relationships is their unstated objective. Their very own personal demands are constantly prioritized, whether honestly or with concealed schedules. Their habits are chaotic, without reluctance. They cannot self-control their will, acting one means one day, and also complete the contrary the following. These people are continuously plagued by miseries, in some cases homeless, frequently hospitalized, and also at times involved in criminal activities ending behind bars. Their passions can be massive. A couple of them show up to acquire some technique as well as thus may accomplish power and magnificence, such as experts, executives, politicians, or world leaders. But several of them may recognize that their life is running completely amok. So they try to rapidly get out of their dilemma looking for an adjustment for their spiritual development. But if they fall short, they may kill themselves. B. The official institutional phase. This stage is qualified as an official or institutionalized life section due to the fact that during that time people desire a purely arranged and structured life. Individuals in this phase are faithful followers and churchgoers. Whatever the faith, other people in this phase will certainly locate in the army the structure they need. Likewise, most integrations of any kind remain in that phase. Changes, whether prompt or evolutionary, are very annoying to these people. Guidelines, regulations, principles, conventions, and customs are all lifesavers to which they cling so as to get out of the chaos of the initial stage. Being attached to form rather than essence, they cannot find spirituality inside them. Instead, for them, only an outside God has to exist, loving but all-powerful nonetheless, living both in the spiritual in addition to the real life, penalizing or compensating at all times. So they need this God in order, not to regression in the first phase. C. The skeptic doubt stage. This stage is identified by apprehension, occasionally supposed extreme individuals, those that show substantial visibility, interest, innovation, creative thinking, those that are on a mission for the reality. Paradoxically, these people are a lot more innovative spiritually despite the fact that they may have abandoned religion or various other kinds of an organized company. It is likewise a stage of individuality on their spiritual development, but of the soft kind, not antisocial as in the very first phase. Individuals in this phase will certainly frequently be involved in altruistic organizations. It is likewise the phase during which distinctions are transcendent. D. The mystical, communal stage. This is the last stage of spiritual growth, and mysticism is not a very easy word to define. It is related to the mystery as well as it renounces Cartesian reasoning. In this phase, strongly spiritual, individuals have found a cohesiveness and also honesty in life below the materialistic appearances. They perceive this in all human relationships as well as relationships with other living animals, even between dead hearts and living ones. Magical individuals appreciate enigmas, however, while attempting to recognize them, they understand that also when resolved those generally conceal an additional enigma. People in the official institutional stage usually deny anything that is not clear as well as sensible. The mystic does not bear that attitude at all. On the contrary, resistance to uncertainty is always there, and also this is the common reaction to spiritual development. Having involved grips with the cohesiveness as well as honesty of life, these people have the ability to communicate authentically, truthfully, with respect, and with approval of the paradox of uncertainty, the mystery of life.